Hello, welcome to Ian's Grow Your Own. Oh, it's hot out there. Not as hot as it was last week. All I did last week was water. I didn't do anything in the garden. It was just too hot. At one stage, we got a thermometer in the little patio area and it was 104. Oh, let's take that off. I've been doing nothing but just drinking. Just take a little sip every day and again. Don't drink like we normally do. I'd have a cup of tea. Just sip stuff. Sip water to keep yourself hydrated. It's a trick I learned when I was in Arizona with the Cowboys. They carried drink around all day and just sipped all day, filled it up. Iced water, iced tea, iced coffee even. Right. Back to grow your own. Now, I've gone around the garden, the patio that we've got, and the potatoes are now gone. We dug the potatoes out, and we sorted them out, and that's at the end of this video. I'll show you how many potatoes we've actually got out of 10 £1 buckets from B&Q. And it's surprising, and it works. They're not big potatoes, they're new potatoes. They're small ones, which is what we wanted for making salads. Anyway, it's been so hot. Stuff's been dying out there. The little shop, I got some tomatoes and some basil and some sweet peppers, and they almost died. So I brought it all back in and watered it well, and it's all come back to life. And I'm now putting it back out onto the shop. But what we'll do, take you around the patio, take you around what we're doing, and then the last part of the video is how many spuds we got. It's brilliant. I mean, you can't make this up. It's as it is. It's grow your own. Anyway, this is Ian. Grow your own. Let's have a look round and see where we are. It's now the 22nd of July. And it's hot. It's the summer. You expect it to be warm. But not normally as warm as this. We've had no rain for 6 weeks. Anyway. I got water butts. And I've used half a water butt already. So I'm hoping it's going to rain. It's supposed to be raining Saturday, they tell us. But they told us it was going to be raining. And now they're going to tell us it's only going to be a little bit. So we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, Ian, take us round the garden and show us what's going on. Hello, and welcome to Ian's Grow Your Own. The potatoes that were on the cardboard there, on our rough gravel, have all been taken up now. And I'll show you how many potatoes we got out of 10 £1 buckets from B&Q. Cost me a tenner for buckets. And we used 2 bags of compost in it. Anyway, they've gone. The strawberries are still producing. I got this white powder on. I'm not quite sure what that is. I think it's the heat. The black fly's gone. That was hot soapy water did that. But they're green, they're healthy. I got some dead leaves here. That's where the dry weather was. And not a lot I can do about that. We've watered it, and yeah, that's still damp underneath, dry on the top. But that's still producing strawberries. The runner beans are going, and we've got new runner beans coming, and it's still flowering. That looks good. We got basil. What we've done with the basil is we've cut it. and that makes it bush, which makes these two side leaves bush. And then when this grows a little bit bigger, we'll cut that there where my finger is, and we'll get that to bush again, so we get a real good basil bush, I should say, not basil brush. We got the cabbage ready to go in. That'll be planted out later. We got more chocolate peppermint there, and this, that's the sweet peppers. I think they need potting up into larger pots. That basil looks good, doesn't it? It's sort of growing away from me at the moment. I didn't expect it to be so big. That's the cuttings I took off from the basil, and it's died. I'm afraid I've lost that. That's the rosemary in there. More runner beans. And that's got runner beans on it as well, and it's flowering, so that'll be good. Now, let's come over here. That is the end of the potatoes. We don't put this in the compost bin. One, to make sure we don't spread any potato blight or disease. Because if I use the compost from the bin for the strawberries, for the potatoes for next year, I don't want to spread any disease if there's any disease in this. So that will be put in the council green bin, and we'll let them deal with that. The other alternative is to put it on a bonfire. I always used to put it on a bonfire. Well, I haven't got a bonfire here, so that's out. Right, that's the lettuce, cut and come again. And you see we've had it, and it's all coming again. More strawberries over there. That's the smaller strawberries, the alpine type strawberries. And we've got runners off of it, and we've pegged them into pots, and they'll be growing. The beans we've took out, the peas we've taken out. We've only got the French beans left, and they're growing. And we got our cucumbers. And we have, if you look on there, let me zoom in. We have a cucumber. And what you've got to do with these, now, if I leave that cucumber there, it will go to seed and the plant will die. If I cut it off, it will produce another cucumber. So it's important, if you're doing cucumbers or courgettes, to keep the right ones cut off. We've got some Bockin 14 over there. That's the comfrey, and the comfrey that can be used for compost. And you mix that with the compost, and that produces a nitrogen that helps to break down your compost. It was used during the war. My grandfather had a patch in the corner of his garden, and had it for years. And I said, oh, is that weeds? Have I got to take it out? He said, ah, don't do that, don't do that. That's comfrey. We use that for the compost. It helps break down the compost. That's all he told me. That's all I remember. Anyway, this was the bin we had the... Let's zoom out a little bit. That we had the potato compost in. And we put it all in sacks. And we'll put it aside later today. Anyway, these are the tomatoes. Oops, I want to go out, that's it, zoom out. Right, we've got the little ones there. That's the tiny Tims, and they are producing. Let me zoom in now, so that you can see. They are producing tomatoes. I've also got tomatoes on there. And that one is the bell tomatoes, the big round ones. This, let me zoom out. No, the wrong way. I went the wrong way. That's the orange ones. Lots of flowers, but I can't see any tomatoes yet. This is Pat's shop built tomatoes here. We got plum tomatoes there. And you can see we got plum tomatoes. And that's ordinary round red tomatoes, but they're not mature enough yet. Obviously, they've got to be red before we pick them. We started with orange buckets, 10 for £1, or should I say £10 it was, £1 each from B&Q, and we put second earlies in, and this is the load we got. We got a load before, didn't we, when we emptied one out, and we had a couple of meals off of that. Now we got a few more meals. I am dead chuffed. So you can grow potatoes in buckets. And I think the smaller ones in the smaller buckets work okay. But I have larger bin buckets, which are about 10 gallon, which I can do bigger potatoes, which will be main crop for next year. But I am really chuffed with what we got. And they are beautiful. The taste, better than you buy from the shops. And all I know is that they're second earlies. There was no make of potato or species of potato on the label. All it said was 10 second earlies. Well, second earlies produced almost a whole bucket of spuds. So I'm dead chuffed. Really am.